I'm sure these last 4 days were worth everything. To be honest, I was surprised. I never thought that training with people on your level could be this beneficial. If we were in the city, we could have gotten some soup with rice. That's kind of unfortunate. I haven't had soup with rice before. I called a taxi. Is anyone going towards Gangnam? Since I have off-campus training today, I don't think I'm going to go to school. Me. Can I get off at any station on line 2? You don't need to give me a ride. The traffic should be bad since it's a morning on a weekday. Yeah, and we're not in the same direction. This might sound a little weird, but I want to thank both of you guys for this weekend. I think this is the best weekend I've had within the last couple years, since I was 5 years old. I wasn't sure if we would have more chances to see each other before the exam. Since I'll be busy with preparation, and since you guys also have exams, let's all do our best when that time comes. Especially you, Jean Saram. If you fail the final, I'll make fun of you for it. Got it? Fine, I got it. How many times have you said that this weekend? Take care of her, or not, I guess you're busy too. At least be nice to her from time to time. Alright, I'll see you next time. Oh, and Sunbae, thank you for this weekend. I was able to learn a lot thanks to you. Yeah, me too. See you next time. I think my ride will be here soon. Still awkward when it's just the two of them. Looks like we avoided all the traffic. I know I already said it to them, but this really was the best weekend. I learned a lot from you too, Hyung. Not only a lot of buffs, but even something like a special move. It's not a special move. I've told you dozens of times, but that skill is just an idea, got it? Not only have I never used it before, but I've never had the chance either. It might not even work. Well, I might be wrong, but I think it will be more than effective in battle. If I can master it, I think I can even use it during the revenge match. A revenge match? It's a long story, but there's something like that. If I succeed, I'll be sure to tell you about the results. I don't know when I'll get the chance, but we should grab some food together when we get the chance. Really wanted some rice with soup. I'm not sure about that. I don't think I can hang out with you, unless you go to a better school. I'd rather not spend time with people that go to normal high schools. I can't believe you. Thanks for the encouragement. I'm tired. I guess I'll skip school and get some sleep. There's no need to go to school. I don't think you have enough time to sleep either. Manager. I'm supposed to go to school today though. I know. I told you. I already called them. You won't have to go for a month. You want me to skip school for a month? Why are you surprised? Weren't you getting ready for the transfer exam to Warrior High? Unless they give you points for attendance, pack your bags. Bring some underwear and a couple of shirts. Looks like you learned magic. Although it's on a basic level, I can sense your circuits are active. Well, isn't it obvious that I needed to do some preparation since I knew what we were going to do? I'm proud that you did that. It won't be much use though. It won't be much use. Don't misunderstand. I'm not saying you wasted your time or anything. I even congratulated you. But I'm just trying to make this clear for you. Didn't I tell you? This isn't a private lesson, but a test. Are you prepared and determined to really live as an adventurer? In order to test that, I'm going to do my best to push you. You should hurry up and get your stuff, kid. I know I said this, but grab enough clothes for a couple of days. If you need more, we can come back. Okay. Can I ask where we're going? Is it a practice facility you used when you were active, or? I already sold all of that stuff. How do you open this damn thing? By the way, what is that? It's been there the whole time. What do you think it is? It's your weapon. I don't know how that bastard knew my address, but he managed to send it. Finally, it's open. Why was it so complicated? Take a look. If it's wrong, I'll sue them. Looks about the same, except it's a different color. Seeing that this is in there too, I don't think only the looks have changed. Whether it really is something noteworthy, or if the changes barely did anything to it. Let's go. I'll make sure you have more than enough chances to test out your weapon. I'm excited. That's what I said. Carnivorous and Danger Rank. If you meet a 3-star monster, focus on running away. Make sure you avoid even meeting a 4-star monster. I think that's what I was taught. That's what I taught you to survive as a smuggler. However, it's different for an adventurer. If you're too scared to move, or think you're going to die, let me know. I'll help you right away. The last time I saw his skills was already half a year ago. A carnivorous ant is even more dangerous for close-range types. If he hasn't improved during the last half year, he'll probably die. If that's the case, then that would be the end of it. Good luck. Even though I'm completely focused, if I had reacted only a second later, I would have lost my head. This would be the second time that Jaryong faced off with a 4-star or higher monster. While there might be a gap between the monsters that he's faced, the important thing is that the premise is the same. Whether it be on attack or defense, not even one mistake will be tolerated. Without a supporting ally, a single opening will lead to death. I need to end things quickly, using everything I've got. The difference between 3 stars and 4 stars is intelligence. While the difference depends on the species, most monsters have decision-making skills on par with humans. In some cases, they can even play mind games with people. Despite being able to defend, it deliberately let its guard down to bring me close. I can't slash through that with the needle. I knew this would happen. Huh. Mon. What was that? It disappeared. That thing just now, how did you activate it? I don't know how to use this thing yet either. I only managed to read a couple of lines from the instruction manual. How do you feel? Do you feel lethargic, or strangely tired when you move? I guess I'm a little out of breath. But I think that's because I'm surprised, rather than tired. I didn't feel any magic just now. It must be an ability that allows the user to manifest a blade using stamina. The mechanism itself isn't that special. Rather, it's an old-style skill that's behind the times. A manifested weapon is not free. Stamina loss is based on how long the blade is manifested. Although it might have made sense when finding good material was difficult, it's more efficient to just create an actual blade nowadays. However, based on the impact of that last strike, is it possible to create that kind of force while only feeling slightly tired? Anyway, this is good news. If it wasn't for your item, you would have learned your lesson. I have nothing to say. I know. I practically lost that fight. Well, as long as you know. I never thought you would win in the first place. Don't take it the wrong way, alright? It's not because I underestimate your skills. It's actually the opposite. When it comes to your talent and skills, you're okay. Just by looking at your battle prowess, I can tell you're already on par with gold-class adventurers. Why are you complimenting me? It doesn't suit you. I wonder, is okay an expression used as a compliment? Including your own father, I can make a list of dozens of people that have more talent than you. And amongst those people, over half of them have met their end at the hands of a weak monster. Another one? No. I managed to split it in half, but it reattached itself. Ability, super regeneration used as a condition to repair physical damage. A hammer. So that's how it works. The stance the user swings in. The weapon most likely identifies the situation the user is in order to manifest in the perfect shape. The insane efficiency is a plus. Although it might seem pretty random, it might be the best skill for that kid. However, no matter how good the weapon is, if he can't figure out the strategy, he doesn't stand a chance. Especially within the time limit. You. Were you trying to deflect the attack again? In your current condition, you wouldn't even be able to dodge the attack. Game over. Any objections? I tried to destroy any parts that might be its weakness. What was I supposed to do? I don't know. I think running away might have been the best option. Don't joke with me. Right now, I'm being serious. Run away, and lure him into a place where he can't regenerate, that's the strategy to win. Huh. There are 3 strategies to defeat the carnivorous ent. The first, and most efficient, way would be to lure the carnivorous ent somewhere it can't absorb nutrients. As long as it's touching a surface where it can absorb nutrients, that thing will continue to heal, indefinitely. If you lured it into a rocky environment, or the inside of a fallen mine, you would have easily defeated it 5 times over. But did a thought like that even cross your mind? Look for its weakness and face it head on. That's the only, one-dimensional way to deal with things. Huh. It already broke. Looks like I have no talent in protection-type skills. The second method to defeat the carnivorous ent. By using a C rank or higher flame spell, and burning it in its entirety. Wasn't that easy? That's what matchups are all about. If you were a magician that specialized in fire spells, you would have beat him easily without having to worry about anything. You might need some agility to dodge its attacks, though. That's also the reason why that thing is a 4-star. He's extremely weak to fire. Even if you can't use fire, using that strategy, defeating it becomes much easier. However, until you figure that out, that thing is the worst thing to deal with for close-ranged damage dealers. It might seem easy to just use a C-rank fire spell, but most regular fires wouldn't even stand a chance. You would need a military-grade incendiary bomb to imitate its power. While the first generation lacked polished attack spells, we get to take advantage of the strategies they developed. Many adventurers lost their lives to learn this information. Then, those people that you said had talent, yeah, most of them died. All to monsters that are easy to defeat with a little planning. For the sole reason of being born in the wrong generation, they lost the chance to express what they're capable of. Anyway, how does it feel to be defeated by a monster for the first time? Really, like shit, right? It's different from losing to another human in a duel. Frustration, and emptiness. You don't learn much, and all you feel is regret and loss. As an adventurer, it's an experience that everyone has. And in return, you pay the price. A light injury if you're lucky, retirement if you're not. In the worst case, the life of someone else. The fact that you lived because of someone else will make you feel like shit. I don't want you to feel that emotion. Just because you pay the price, doesn't mean you learn a great lesson. If the only thing you lose is your dignity, sometimes that might be the best option. Anyway, we're done for today. Let's head out. Can you run a couple hours? Yeah. The inside of the dungeon has been drastically altered from the original space before the adhesion. Although the outside of the dungeon might seem the same size as before, the dungeon is small. And while the perimeter is also the same, the area inside the dungeon may seem multiple times larger than initially expected. Including Uedo, the 4 regions combined to create the Agar jungle, the actual area inside the dungeon is close to the size of the entire country. Well, that didn't take that long. Come here and enjoy the view. It's always amazing seeing this for the first time. The environment experienced within is beyond anyone's imagination. Dungeon, Old, Syndrome Danger Rating, A. Isn't it amazing? Despite how it looks, even 3 stars are considered the bottom of the food chain here. If you're alone, you might be able to survive for 30 minutes. For the next 2 weeks, I'll teach you during the day, and protect you during the night. Well, I'll continue to teach you after those 2 weeks. But from then on, you'll have to protect yourself. If you manage to use everything you learn to survive for a month, you pass the test. Although I'll keep mentioning this, if you ever want to stop, that's unfortunate. To hear that we'll only be here for a month. A month later, November day of the Warrior High School practical test. I can't believe you, Yu Jaryong. To think you would ignore all of my texts and calls for a month. The test is at 9, are you really at home right now? Huh, were you waiting for me? Yu Jaryong, where the hell have you been? Sorry for ignoring your calls. I was in an area without cell service for an entire month. I should have told you about that before going. What's wrong? Oh. I guess it looks a bit strange. My hair kept poking my eye and I just couldn't take it anymore. I tried cutting it on my own. I guess it looks really weird. I didn't have scissors either. Sorry for worrying you so much. I'll try to get ready quickly. Oh, wait a second. Inside the car. Oh. Sorry about that. Whenever something approaches me from behind, I just react, it became some sort of habit. I should fix it. No worries. You don't need to apologize. Oh, this. I forgot all about the clothes I was supposed to get. I spent the entire month trying out the weapon they made for me. It was nice. I'm so excited for this too. Feeling bloodlust from a person, it was the first time that Saram experienced it. However, the real reason why Saram was astonished was far from that. The bloodlust that she felt from Jaryong was something that Saram was used to. I was surprised, so I might have mistaken it, but what I felt at that moment was no different than the bloodlust that she felt from the monsters she had faced. So, does it fit well? It's perfect. It fits perfectly and it's so light. I understand why it's so expensive. If you had the time, we were going to test it out and make detailed adjustments. When it comes to high-grade equipment, those small changes make all the difference. Well, I guess we can't do much about that. But seriously, I'm excited. Excited. I guess that would be better than being nervous. But I think you should have some sense of wariness since it is a test. Huh? Oh, I wasn't talking about the test. Of course I'm nervous about that. I was talking about Warrior High. The entirety of the exam is at Warrior High, right? Since last September, it's always been Warrior High this, Warrior High that, but I've never actually visited it in person. North 373241 between Yongsan-gu and Junggu, Namsan, 270 m above sea level in a small place where a small mountain and park used to exist before the adhesion phenomena. Mountain drawing, 8781 m above sea level, former danger rating, A+. It became the highest region within the entirety of the Korean peninsula. The noteworthy thing was that, while it was located closely to Seoul's largest dungeon, the Agar Jungle, it was really a separate dungeon. Taking those facts into consideration, 30 years ago, the country and the Adventurers Association worked together to completely clear the dungeon. At the time, all well-known adventurers within the country were gathered for a briefing. While participation was voluntary, not a single adventurer decided to back out. It took a whole year to prepare for this large-scale raid, demanding both physical and economical investments. Everything that was necessary was put into this plan to ensure its success. From this point onwards, mountain drawing, the old Namsan, has officially become territory of South Korea. Namsan raid successful, the complete clearing of an A-rank dungeon. It was considered an event to be celebrated around the world. However, a small dilemma appeared right after. Mountain drawing wasn't just a single peak, rather, there existed great plains within the region. What was the best way to utilize that? Well, I know this might not sound realistic. What could have been a large problem over territory control, ended with the suggestion of a single person. Why don't we build something like a school there? There has always been a debate about the need for adventurer education facilities. No matter how small, space to allow countless future adventurers to train and practice was needed, and since the space for it was hard to find, the plans were delayed. While Droid Dungeon was considered an ownerless land, the ownership over the land was given to the adventurers that risked their lives to regain the land. And while the story wasn't well known, if it wasn't for the adventurer that donated his portion of the land, known for being the sole reason behind the clearing of the dungeon, Warrior High School may never have even existed. Even if I didn't do anything there, I'm sure that plenty of people have always wanted to visit Warrior High. If they had merchandise, they would make a fortune. Hey, aren't we leaving Seoul? Isn't Warrior High inside Gangbuk? A lot of stuff happened during the month you went missing. Have you ever heard of J? Isn't that a rising attack squad? I think some of my friends are fans. All the people in that squad died. The attack squad's public hiding spot's lock was broken, and high-level monsters seem to have gotten in and attacked. While it might seem like a tragedy. Wow. Huh. I'm sure that caused a scene. Don't even mention it. I've seen like 7 public apologies on the news. So many people are involved with the event. Starting from the Adventurers Association, and even the adventure market as a whole has hit rock bottom. It's best if you think it was best that those druggies died. They don't have common sense and they think they're all that. That's why this happened. I hope that we take this chance to lower the total number of approved adventurers. Anyways, in order to change the overall mood of things, the Adventurers Association announced all the secret projects and ideas that they've had. And as a result, the testing area changed. The Pangeo Labyrinth. I'm sure you've heard of it before. Yeah. The second completely cleared A-rank dungeon that was fully cleared after Mountain Drawing. And it used to be the home of the infamous dragon, Vasuka. At the same time Jinseong Group Research Facility Underground Smithy. I got you those drinks because you were asking for them so much, and you're telling me you finished all of them last night. Shut it. It's been a while since I've had real alcohol. How am I supposed to save it if you didn't even get me much? Honey wine, 25 years, dwarven alcohol, high alcohol content. Whether it be elves or humans, not only are you bad at making things, but your ability to make alcohol is the worst. So, what made you decide to visit me all the way down here? Do you have news about that kid? I guess it's not news that's completely unrelated. Vasuka's Labyrinth. I'm sure the Adventurers Association asked you for help 20 years ago. Remember? They wanted to create an advanced training area to pick out adventurers or something. I told them to get lost since it sounded like a waste of time. Can you tell me why you made that decision? Well, I'm sure you're aware, but dragons are the type to get fixated on certain things. Once they find their target, they show a strong obsession and greed for it. Vasuka was known amongst my kind for being a famous labyrinth fancier. Despite being considered one of the stronger dragons, he made his nest as complicated and confusing as possible. Titan and dwarves, even humans and elves, he used all kinds of techniques to make his nest more complicated, and did whatever was necessary. It's not possible for humans to take advantage of that kind of monster, one made of obsession. During the last 20 years, didn't they claim that they would hire a dwarf master from overseas to get rid of anything dangerous? The number of dwarven masters that Vasuka kidnapped numbered in the thousands. While I'm not sure how you humans managed to capture Vasuka, I'm certain that they didn't do it inside the labyrinth. They most likely lured him out and dealt with him. If he made up his mind and stayed inside his nest, it would have been impossible to do anything about it. Even if they spent the last 20 years getting rid of everything, I'm sure they've only dealt with the tip of the iceberg. It's likely that they didn't even get near the center of the dungeon. While they claim that there's nothing wrong during inspections, once adventurers actually start exploring, there's no way to predict what might happen. Without any announcement of the change, a sudden change to the testing site a week before the test, seems like they're willing to do anything to appease the media. However, seeing that you're here asking me this, I see. Seems like they've made an idiotic decision. Well, I guess it's not all that bad. If you're lucky, nothing bad will ever happen. Even if something were to happen inside the labyrinth, it could serve well as a story about the worth of life. You never know. If there is anyone that's lucky enough, they might even manage to control the dungeon in its entirety. Wow, so, you're telling me that this is the entrance? Pangeo Special Training Center, former, Pangeo Labyrinth. Those here for the Warrior High School Transfer Practical Exam, please come and receive a test paper and contract at Area B1. I repeat. A labyrinth that changes shape for a variety of difficulties and themes. That's what was announced. Since this is the first time it's being used as a testing site, there's no data on it. It might be better for you though. There's a lot more people than I thought. Yeah, compared to the transfer students last year, looks like she put in the work. Was it Anisha, your cousin? Huh. Let's see, even in this area, maybe around 20 people. They're staring at me pretty hard. I don't know what she told them, but this is more than mere wariness. I knew that Anisha would try to do something, but 20 people. Are you sure? I can't really tell if anyone's staring. It's not their gaze. One of the things that I learned during the last month was what it felt like being targeted. It feels like opening a window on a hot afternoon. The month I survived in a highly dangerous dungeon. The number of things that Jaryong learned were countless. One of the things that he learned was to avoid situations where you would be targeted. However, just now, it was even sharper. Although I expected this, I'm a little shy. When it comes to situations where you have no choice, I guess I'll need to tell everyone, good luck. Make sure you don't give your opponents the chance to look down on you. Minutes before the practical exam. Pangeo Comprehensive Training Center, Conference Room 1. We would like to thank everyone present here for participating. If it wasn't for everyone's support, we would not have been able to make these memorable changes. Choi Sung-go, former adventurer, current Adventurer Association President, Career High, South Korea ranking 12th. Especially you two. The current principal of Warrior High. There's no need to thank me. Go Doksu, former adventurer, current Warrior High Principal. Frankly, when it comes to these hasty plans, I've never truly supported them. Career high, Pacific Rim Union ranking 4th. In our current day and age, I'm appalled that you are able to redirect the attention of the public with jokes like this. The people want their protectors to take responsibility for their actions, not a playground like this. I believe everyone here thinks the same. Well, what can he do? As a hired educator, he has no choice but to follow the overwhelming opinion of the board of directors. However, if you would like to express your gratitude, feel free to do so to the person across from me. That person is the face of the board of directors for Warrior High School. CO Yura, Warrior High Board of Directors Chairman. I understand that you bear no ill will, however, I hope you could refrain from saying anything that may cause misunderstandings. The decision was made after a long discussion within the board. Currently ranked first in South Korea, Attack Squad Union, Thaw League leader. A long time, you say? It appears time is relative. Even if it was a pointless interaction, I guess the first place ranker would think it was a long conversation. In this small country, I'm not sure what value there is in maintaining first place through showmanship and politics. Principal. Is it okay for him to say that? I know he's angry. I was trying to be understanding, but don't you think you're going too far? It's not even a formal test, it's just a pointless transfer test to choose a couple of idiots. Why are you overreacting like this? Pointless? Idiots? Hey, Cho Young-gil. Cho Young-gil, Warrior High Board of Directors, Chilsung Attack Squad, founder. Unless you've gotten dementia and lost your memories regarding your past 30 years of experience, I suggest you shut your mouth. Among all those children outside, there isn't a single one that deserves to be talked down to by you. I understand that it's difficult to receive avid support from everyone. You have all the right to feel great regret about the current situation. However, if you'd prefer to have conflict, rather than a chance to express your thoughts, I'm more than willing to fulfill your wishes. The director and principal have always been on bad terms with each other. Since tensions were at an all-time high, everyone gathered was prepared for what could happen. However, what caused them to calm down was an unexpected factor. It was a student that had nothing to do with the situation, who was introducing himself to everyone. If you two could please calm down. I'm well aware that you'd love to complain about the current circumstances. However, I will admit that I should be the one receiving all the hate. There is no need for the role models of Warrior High to fight. Did Ms. Cho Seo head down first? Yes. She should be busy briefing the students by now. I should be the one receiving all the hate. I can't believe what he was saying. Among all the Korean adventurers, I'm sure that everyone is aware that the association president is CO Yura's puppet. So, did you think that I was too aggressive? Your choice of words and tone were unnecessarily harsh, thank you for agreeing. Since she has the power and authority in her hand, I understand why she would try to utilize them to their fullest. However, she's crossed a line that shouldn't have a long time ago. When it comes to children that just graduated, she's been claiming that talent deserves the correct treatment and scouted them to her attack squad. Even if we keep in mind that they're Warrior High graduates, she manages to provide them with unbelievable pay and treatment. Those children indulge in the things that CO Yura provides. Not wealth built through effort, but wealth and honor built on networking and belonging. And as time passes, those young adventurers full of talent and potential cease to exist. They are satisfied with what they have and have become adults that would do anything for their own benefit. How would fish trapped in a well dare fight against the being that provides them with food? They have no choice but to keep swimming in the small well, blissfully unaware of the fact they are trapped. Believe getting this testing site approved isn't the only thing she'll do. I'm sure that only a few in the association know hints to clear this dungeon. And the few that have gained this information would be the parents or relatives of the students that are taking the test today. Now then, Do you still think I'm being overly aggressive? Not only does she influence the kids that graduated, now she dares try taking over my school. Our warrior high school, I'm sure she has low expectations of us. I won't let that happen. This test is not something that can be cheated on by knowing the testing location. The only thing that I'm concerned about is safety. It's already a difficult test, but to conduct it in an unknown area, that's what I was thinking. Yet, she could care less. But praying isn't really my thing. If something were to happen, we just have to move as quickly as possible. Oh, also, about that. I wasn't able to say much about it at the time, but I'm sure everyone felt it. Even if they're all useless, there's no way they couldn't have felt that overwhelming bloodlust. It's immature and unsharp, and it's foolish for the time and place. Is that what you think? I guess I can't say much about that. I agree with half of what you said. I don't know who it is, but it's not immature and unsharp. He's making it rough on purpose. Well, I'm sure you were already aware. But you're pretty famous within the school for being strict to students with talent. Anyways, that was interesting. Although I shouldn't have any personal feelings for any of the transfer students. I hope that kid passes the test. Although I can't do much instructing as the principal anymore. The theme of the test is search and transportation of treasure. Find the treasure located within a chest inside the dungeon, and exit the dungeon safely to pass the test. 30 minutes before the practical exam, Pangeo Special Training Center, Briefing Room 2. All the sources of danger within the dungeon are set to put the participants in a state where they are unable to continue. The rules are a lot simpler than I thought. I thought there would be a complicated point system. While most injuries will be something along the lines of fractures and light cuts and bruises, there is always the possibility of the unexpected happening. Since you all desire to become adventurers, I suggest you be extra careful when it comes to personal safety. The clear condition is 1 treasure per person. I will tell you ahead of time. Inside the dungeon, there are more than enough chests for participants to collect. As such, there is no limit to the amount of participants that can pass the practical exam. Really? If even a quarter of people here pass, that's still over 100 people. Do you think they'll change their mind? In regards to the basic items that you will be provided with. Sarum didn't tell me about this test format. No, even just from what other people are saying, it looks like this is a new rule implemented this year. That concludes this briefing. We will now start allowing participants to enter the practical exam site. Each participant will enter based on the number given on their test admission ticket. Will Group A please go through the exits and enter the locker room? Your equipment is stored in the storage lockers that match your admission ticket number. Since I had to give away my phone, I can't contact anyone. I have no choice but to figure it out myself. Hey, you. I'm already nervous as is. Watch where you're going. You were the one that bumped into me, so why should I listen to what you're saying? As you can see, I can't walk fast with my leg like this. There's no way I could catch up to you. I'm fine with getting bumped into when there are a lot of people like now, but don't get angry with me, please. You can't even walk, why are you talking so much? Hey, do you think you can take us? I could care less about all of you. Let's not block other people's paths if you can. If you can. Who do you think you are? Get lost. What if I don't want to stop? What are you going to do? Hey, stop. Well, even though we're still minors, there's still laws in place, and since we have an important exam, I won't do much. You're funny. But I guess I would cause you some bad feelings if I happen to see you on the testing site. I might accidentally cross the line. What the hell is wrong with him? You didn't know. That kid. Bitch. Oh, here. You dropped this. Thanks. You didn't have to do that, but thanks to you, I didn't have to deal with them. His attitude. I guess that's okay, we are the same age anyways. But his leg. Alright, good luck on the test. Do adventurers study for the SAT? Does he think you won't pass the test? Forget it, there's no need to worry about others. Everyone has their own intentions. Good luck. Pyo Dojin, 18, Warrior High 2nd year, last year's achievement overall evaluation 2nd place. Pangeo Special Training Center, Labyrinth Entrance Floor. The practical exam begins in 10 minutes. Each participant, please enter the corresponding entrance and follow the instructions of the guides. Whoa! What the hell? It's just like a sci-fi movie, the sheer scale of it really has an impact. Once again. Each capsule is an elevator that will take each participant to random locations within the labyrinth. Please enter the capsule and wait until the test begins. During the remaining time, each participant will be transported to their assigned testing area. And at the start of the hour, the doors will open and the exam will start. It's like a normal elevator on the inside. Until test starts 0 minutes 5 seconds. Participant distributed equipment. 1. Tactical band, shows the time, detects oddities in the user's condition and status, detects location and rescue signals, asking for help will result in disqualification. Until test starts 0 minutes 1 second. Alright, this is it. Pangeo Labyrinth. A location once known as Basuka's Abyss. While the potential for danger to be used as a training location was brought up. What? Even those people, when it comes to what was inside the labyrinth, could not have guessed what could be inside. However, who could have imagined that the labyrinth itself would have its own will, and that it would try to use the humans that tried to take advantage of it? Did the exam start? The participants' locations cannot be tracked. Emergency situation. The layout of the labyrinth, all adventurers within the facility, please follow the orders of the guides and leave the current premises. Are there any entrances we can use? They're all closed. And the reward for waiting would be that it gained prey to eat. However, just like there would be people that would be eaten. The fact that their natural enemy would be inside them, the ownerless labyrinth would also be unable to know that.